Hey, it's travelgigolo, and this is a review of the Gharagab self-catering cabins in the Kgalagadi Transfrontier Park. Gharagab is located in the northernmost section of the Kgalagadi, very close to the Namibian border. This site is only accessible by 4x4 and no trailers are allowed. If you're looking for an isolated wilderness experience in the Kgalagadi, then Gharagab could be the place for you. This is a fairly remote section of the Kgalagadi Transfrontier Park, and there's very little traffic coming here, firstly because it's only accessible by 4x4, and secondly because mostly it's just the guests at Gharagab that will be traveling up and down to the site. And since there are only 4 cabins that allow 2 people per cabin, that's basically 8 people that would be up and down to the Gharagab site. You can of course drive out from Gharagab and explore the surrounding area and surrounding waterholes. Note that normal gate times in park apply. There's an elevated viewpoint on the site that you can walk to. However, you cannot walk outside of the campsite area because this is an unfenced area of the park and there is the possibility of encountering dangerous animals, so there are lions and hyenas around, for example. This is a self-catering facility with all the basics that you would require for self-catering. Inside each cabin you will find a sleeping area with 2 single beds that is open plan with a kitchen area, and there is also a bathroom. There is no electricity here besides a basic solar powered lighting system. There's a fridge freezer combo which is gas fired. That's really nice to have here, especially in these hot temperatures. There's also a gas stove to do your cooking and to heat water and so on, and all of the basic crockery and cutlery that you require. The kitchen also has a wash basin with hot and cold water. The bedroom area is very basic. It's 2 single beds, each with extra linen and an area to stash your clothes and stuff. The bathroom consists of a shower, toilet and wash basin as well. There is hot water and cold water, and that hot water is supplied by a gas-fired system. Bathroom basics like toilet paper, towels and soap are also supplied. Each camp has a wooden deck looking out onto the watering hole, and this is a set of chairs and a braai place as well. It can get quite windy here. In fact, it was very windy when we arrived at the camp, and under these circumstances it might be risky to use that open braai outside, so I think just think carefully about when you're going to use that braai. The bush is quite dry and you could quite easily, I think, start a bushfire. As I mentioned before, there is no electricity. There is only a solar lighting system, so you can't plug stuff in, you can't charge your cell phone and that sort of thing. In that respect, this is truly a wilderness site. If you want electricity, then you've got to bring your own. Sandbox recommends that you bring your own water. The water at the site is brackish and also a little bit bitter to taste. Importantly, note that there's no shop or fuel at the site, so the last place that you can get your supplies and get your fuel and so on is at the Norsub camp. Given that Norsub is at least 4 hours away, or at least a 4-hour drive away, it's advisable that you get all your stuff and come prepared. You have to bring your own food and water and your basic supplies that you would not find typically in a self-catering facility. The view out onto the watering hole is the primary attraction. You have your own unhindered view out onto the watering hole, and that watering hole is lit at night, which is cool because some predators are more likely to be seen at night as they tend to be nocturnal. To get to Gharagab, you have to drive via Norsub camp. And from Norsub, it's at least a 4-hour drive, probably more like 5 hours or more if you're going to stop along the way and see stuff. Most of the road is typical dirt road like the rest of the Kgalagadi Park. However, the last 32 kilometers is strictly 4x4. The 4x4 section is a fairly narrow track that drives over a set of sand dunes. So it's quite deep sand, not particularly technical driving, but make sure you have the right tire pressure so you don't get stuck in the sand. Take note that you're not permitted to drive with a trailer on the 4x4 track. Getting to the Kgalagadi is generally a long drive, and getting from the main entrance at Tweerivieren to Gharagab is also a significant drive. So I recommend that you consider sleeping over either at Tweerivieren or at Norsub on your way to Gharagab and on your way out as well. The site consists of 4 permanent tented log cabins. These cabins are spaced about 20 meters apart, so there's a reasonable amount of privacy. And each of them overlooks the watering hole at the site, so you have your own unobstructed view of the watering hole. Gharagab is unfenced. there are no fences around the facility. And so this means that animals have access to the site, and you can have animals walking up and down through the site, and this can include lions and hyenas and other dangerous animals, for example. Importantly, note that no children under the age of 12 are allowed, so you cannot bring young children to this site. So what type of traveler is Gharagab for? It's a self-catering site that is in an unfenced wilderness area. You need a 4x4 to get here. Each cabin has space for 2 people, and you are not permitted to bring children under the age of 12. Although there is hot water and lighting, there is no electricity. With the exception of one caretaker, there is no other staff on the site, so you've got to wash your own dishes and make your own beds and do all of that sort of stuff. If you enjoy the wilderness, if you like to be away from civilization, if you enjoy being able to sit out on your deck and look over a watering hole at night, then this is the perfect spot for you. There are no special requirements for coming here except that you have a 4x4 to get to the site. If you found this informative, hit the like button. Also leave some comments below. It's good to get some feedback from you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. And until the next episode, go everywhere, see everything. Have a great time.